Hi, this video is for Katy Mini Dumpster Rentals. This is Norma. I'm an independent SEO lead generation specialist. First of all, I just want to say thanks for your response to my post on Facebook regarding some SEO tips. I do know you're busy with the business. You have this one and also sent me the CN moonwalks. Whatever I say on this one would apply to CN moonwalks as well. So I wanted to get this out to you. You can take these tips that I'm giving you, put them into action for yourself, for the business. Apply them onto your website. All I ask for is some feedback on the video if you don't mind, and if you feel after you watch this that you need some help, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. There are basically three main SEO tips that I wanted to go over with you. So SEO, search engine optimization. These things are content, citations, and backlinks. And if you ever had to deal with digital marketing in the past or having your business online, you know how important it is for these things to get evaluated so that people can start seeing your business on the internet. These are the three things that search engines use to crawl your web page. I'm talking about Google, Bing, MSN, Yahoo. They all use these three things to determine if your site is worth ranking on top or ranking on the very first page when you search for something. And that's where you want to be because that's where most of the clicks come in. Okay, so first thing is content. And I have your front page here. And content is basically anything you see on the front page, of course. That includes any text and any photos and how these photos are saved. So when I talk about making sure you have good content in the front page, I'm talking about unique, relevant, high quality content and text. So at least 1,500 words that speak about your business on this front page. And I say 1,500 because this allows you to add in some keywords, some key phrases that people are going to be using to search for your business and the services you offer. And it's really going to get you found on the search engine. The other thing, as I mentioned, are the images. So if I try to save this image, for example, this header image, okay, you notice it's saved as probably a date on there. Sometimes it's saved as the camera default, you know, whatever the camera saves it on. But I need you to go in your website and kind of change that to talk about your service. So you can say something like, you know, just something as simple as mini dumpster rental in Katy, Texas, as opposed to this, because again, the search engines are going to look at this and this is not going to be relevant to what you're trying to get people to search you for. And I don't know if these are links, but let me check. Save images. Okay, so yep, so you have a charming 6-yard dumpster dimensions, which is fine because it does talk about, you know, what you're renting out. You can leave that alone. But definitely add some photos in here that, you know, not only talk about the dumpster, but your services as well. So again, 1,500 words on this page and kind of adjust your photos to make it where it talks about the services that you offer. I'm just going to randomly try to save that one. And it looks like, so I don't know, they're all saying 6-yard dumpster dimensions. So you want to save all of these to the appropriate size of your dumpster. Let's see. Yeah, that one's good. Okay. All right. So it looks like I kind of picked up a couple. And then you also on the front, you know, if you're doing commercial services, talk a little bit about that. This one is untitled. If you're doing residential, talk about that. So there's a lot of things you can put on this front page. That will really speak about your services and what you can offer. So definitely one way to improve your site is to improve this front page. Now the second thing that I want to go over with you is citations. So if I did a search on Google looking for dumpster rental, let me see, I did a search earlier. I did dumpster rental in Katy, Texas. And so this is my result. And when I say you want to be in the front page or on top, this is what I mean. You want to be somewhere on this front page because the next thing you know, we're clicking down here to the next page, right? So Google and then more results on the second page and so forth. but you definitely want to be on that front page. So when I did that search, what you would normally see, especially in services type businesses, are ads, because a lot of services they want to advertise. A lot of times when they're either starting up or they want to gain more traction through their business, they want to gain more clients, they would pay Google to advertise their own website up here on the front. Even though you see some of these websites down here, sometimes they're advertising because the more you are shown on this front page, the more likely it is for people to click on your website. Okay, again, these are your typical Google ads. Everyone's familiar with this. It can be a hit or miss though, because nowadays a lot of people are using ad blockers. And if they are, or if they have an ad blocker on their web browser, there's a good chance that they're not going to see your ad. And there's also a large group of people that simply don't click these ads for whatever reason. Sometimes it's because they might have had a bad experience in the past. And you'll see them again either in the top or towards the bottom. So there's some dumpsters down there. All right. Again, good for if you are still working on your website, it hasn't reached the front page yet organically, and I'll talk about organic search later. Or you just want to get more traction to your business when you first start, or if you're already getting good business but you want more. The only thing with these ads is that once you stop paying Google, they go away, so they're no longer up here on the front page. And the other thing too is every time you click on it, you pay for each click, whether or not the customer decides to go with your company or not. All right, so again, the second thing that I wanted to go over was citations, and that has a lot to do with this map section right here. And so citations basically is your business name, an address, which could be just city and state, and the phone number. Okay, and so in order for you to get on this map section, you need to have a Google My Business account. So if you haven't set one up yet already, make sure you set one up for your business websites. All right, so and what citation is these companies have listed their name, address, and phone numbers on online directories. And when I talk about online directories, I'm talking about things like Yellow Pages Online, like Yelp. I think there's one on here too. Well, here's an example, like Yelp right there. There's millions of local, I may be exaggerating, I would say more like thousands and thousands of local online directories that you can get on. So those were just a couple that I gave you, the Yelp, the Yellow Pages Online. They got localbiz.com. Even things like LinkedIn can be considered a directory where you just put your business information out there. And so, the more citations, so the more directories that you're on, the more likely you'll be found on this map section right here. And so a strategy that I like to use with my clients is I like to see the competition, like this discount dumpster rental. So I have a tool that I can, that I use, that I actually go in there and see what website directories they're on. And I try to get on those same directories. So let's say discount dumpster rental is on 20 directories. I will try to get for my client those same 20 plus, much more, because again, the more citations you're on, more than likely you'll show up here, because really all it's telling Google is that you're spread all over the internet and it's worth for you to be seen up in front. The only problem with, it's a really good idea to be in this section. The only problem is, like I said, the more citations you have, you'll be up here. So in other words, any of these three can be easily knocked out. Even if we had Katy Mini Dumpsters up here, if some other dumpster rental company comes along and you're on 50 online directories, they can knock you off of this map by having 100 online directories, or online citations is what they're called. Where you really want to be is down here, which is, this is the organic search. And the reason why is because you don't get knocked out as easily. And it's kind of hard to, you know, once you're on top, it's kind of hard to bring you down unless you just don't do anything at all with your website. And so I was trying to look down here. You see I've clicked on a few of them. I think most of them over here in the front, because I wanted to see who your local competitor was. And so there's only 10 websites on the first page as far as organic search. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it ends on right here on the jux2.com. So being one of the top 10, you're going to get more traffic than being on any other page, right? So the goal is to really do some work on your page. And this is where that backlinking comes in. So all this is telling me is that these companies have a lot of backlinks that are going to their website. And so what a backlink is essentially another website that's linking back to yours. Okay. And so what that does is when another website links back to yours, it's really saying that you guys offer the dumpster rental services and that you're a provider of such services. And that way it brings relevance and keywords that you're trying to rank for and help people get to find you. So I'm going to show you a tool that I use. It's called Ahrefs or Ahrefs. And there it is. It's an online subscription, and this is one of a few tools that I use as a marketer to really look at what's going on with my client's website. And I can also see what's going on with their competitor's website. That way I can keep them up to date. And so Katy Mini Dumpsters, I put your URL up here. And this is the result that I have. So just want to talk a little briefly about it. So referring domains, when we talk about backlinks, it's a website that's linking back to yours, giving you so many backlinks. So you have one website that's referring back to yours, only giving you one backlink. You have 5 organic keywords that you're ranking for. The only thing that I see here that would be the issue is only having one domain and one backlink only provided you with one traffic or one land to your website over the past month. Okay, so you definitely want to work on this backlinks and these referring domains. And what I'm gonna do is go back to the Google search. And the reason why I clicked on these, I wanted to look for your local competition. And it seems like all of these here on the first page are either they're listings of dumpster rentals around Houston, or they're national companies. And so this may be all familiar to you. The Been There, Dump That, Budget Dumpster, WM.com for waste management, Discount Dumpster Co., Hometown Dumpster Rental. That's a directory that you can probably get on. So all of these that I kind of clicked on and that I know, like, yeah, well, of course we know that's just an online directory. These are all national brands. Now Google doesn't really like national brands. I mean, yes, they're there on the front page, but when I say that they don't really like it, they prefer, it's not that they don't like it, but they prefer local businesses to be up here in the front. The problem is, you know, with the local businesses in the area you're focusing on, there's not enough, I guess, companies with high domain, or not high domain, but high authority websites that can really outrank these guys. Although it's not true for every dumpster. I've checked out some other dumpster rentals in other cities, and I've seen them on the first page along with some of these other national ones, but it can be done where the local dumpster is up here on the front page. All right, so I had to skip this first page because there's no one local on the first page. Then going to page 2, there's some more ads here. This one again is a national one, and I believe this one is the closest that I came to that was local. And this is trashmonkey.net, because it seems like they're only servicing, you know, kind of with within and around Houston. So I think this would be your closest competitor. But I wanted to show you how important it is for you to have some SEO done on your webpage so that you can, I guess, attract more customers. It would be the best thing I could say. So I use that same tool, and I put trashmonkey.net, which is their website. And as you can see here, so they have 43 referring domains, that's 43 websites, referring back to them, giving them 269 backlinks. Now, you're going to have historical like them. In other words, historically and cumulatively, they've had 190 referring domains and historically over 1,000 backlinks. Now, this is where a good SEO comes in, because over time, from month to month, you're going to lose, websites that are referring back to you. Either they're going to drop off the internet, or they're just taking their link away. There's reasons why, and that's why historically they had 190. Now they're down to 43. It says recent 63. Well, they must have lost somehow between then and now 20. And then same thing with the backlinks. So, they've lost backlinks over time. And you can see some of the trends down here in this area. And then 156 organic keywords. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But with this referring domains, giving them 269 backlinks, look at how much traffic they're getting. So instead of just the one that you had, over the past month, they've had 103 lands to their website. Now, that may not seem a lot, and it's really probably not a lot, because what people are doing is they're landing on those national brands, which is on the first page. And that's why it's important to be on that very first page. So when people are searching for your service, Katy, Dumpster Rental and Katy, they're going to Been There, Done That and hiring them. They're going to Budget Dumpster and hiring them. Waste Management. So, especially these top right here, this is where they're getting the most click. Now, I would show you on the tool that I just showed you earlier. However, it's going to be kind of misconstrued because these are national companies, and they don't really fall into that local search that we're trying to get you up here for. All right, so again, back to this Trash Monkey. When I was talking about the organic keywords, I would like to go in here and see what keywords they're using. Okay, that would apply to, let's say, your company. So something more. Here we go. So dumpster rental in Conroe, Texas. This is a keyword that they use. Now, I use keywords because if my client doesn't have really that much to say on the front page like yours did, I would look at what keywords here work for this company. And if it works for them, then I'll try to put it on my client's webpage. So like dumpster rental Conroe. So last month, they've had a search volume of 50. Out of those 50, they landed 2.6. I don't know sometimes where they get the points, but 2.6 in traffic. People landed on their page using this term, and that put them on page 7. So anyone who's on page 1 or position 1 through 10 is on the first page. So dumpster rental Conroe, Texas, if somebody used that to search for a dumpster rental, they were on that very first page. This green 2 means that the last month they were at number 9, so they gained 2 points. See, these are all them, Trash Monkey, so I wouldn't use these keywords on my content. And I also like to look at the volume too. So trash dumpster rental prices. So you might want to, because there's a search volume of 70 searches for that, you might want to put that on your front page. And that way you can have some of that 70 searches coming to your web page, depending on how many backlinks you have. But for this company, it gave them, it put them on page 2 because they're number 15 and barely got a landing on their page. Okay. This one here, dumpster rental, Katy, Texas, we saw. This is the exact thing that we put in. There's 20 searches for that term, and they're on page 2. We saw that they're on page 2. Last time they were on page right here, position number 21, so they gained 10. Okay, so that's how I use the organic keywords section, is I go to my competitors, see what's working for them, and then try to use words that would apply to my content, use it on that very first page so I can rank for that as well. All right, so there's a lot of technical stuff that go into it. Hopefully this information has been informative for you. Again, the same thing would apply to the CN Moonwalk business. So the content, the citations, the backlinks, feel free to take these tips, use them for yourself, apply them to your website as much as you can. And if you feel that you need help, especially the backlinks, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, again, hopefully this works out for you. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you have a great week.